We work on large projects and we work on small projects. Our company is, overall, S&B is private. We happen to be the public side of it, and our books are audited and they're audited by the federal government every year because of our federal contracts. Fulshear is going from a small town. The growth of the Houston area is coming, and it's how you accommodate that growth so that you maintain the quality of life that you have now and improve it. And I have some material here for the City Council and Planning Commission about our firm, but some of the issues that are on the agenda for tonight have to do with the engineering, planning, and programming for improvements to accommodate your existing development and your future development. And you need to be able to phase this such that you have, what do you do next year? What do you do tomorrow? What do you do 3 years from now, 5 years, and 10 years? You don't go putting pipes in the ground and then having to dig them up next year. You need to have a plan implementation strategy to not only take care of your existing development but future development. Council.
Also representing the city tonight, besides Cheryl Swinsky and Treasurer Chris Bruchette, we have a couple of officers and also our former Mayor Pro Tem, Bill Archer. Anyone else I'm forgetting besides Dee Cocos and so on? But everybody knows Dee. But I do want to introduce David Linedecker, which is our engineer. He's working on the project of water and sewer going out 1093, as well as water and sewer expansion for the city of Fulshear. And Viola, our former mayor, one of my dear friends and girlfriends for 40-something years. I can tell stories about her that you wouldn't believe, and she can tell more about me that you wouldn't want to believe. We also have Rob Banfield representing Trendmaker and Colin Powell, and then Doug Knopper. A couple of real estate individuals. We're glad to have you.
Good evening. My name is Derek Einkoff, and I know the majority of you in the room, but I don't know some of you that I'm looking at. And I'd like to tell you thank you for being here, first of all, because this is the first time we've had the opportunity as Council and Planning Commission to bring the community in front of us jointly for a session like this, that we can prioritize some issues that we want to take care of during 2010. Myself and Tommy Kirkendall, who is the Director of the Planning Commission, will be facilitating the meeting, and we've come up, as you walked in the door, I'm not sure if everybody grabbed one, but there is actually a sheet telling you how we're going to facilitate the meeting. And we're going to try to put some time constraints on the night tonight, because the way I feel about it, if we keep you in here for more than 2 hours, we're going to not only lose you, but it becomes counterproductive at that point, and everybody kind of starts to doze off, and we're not getting the goals, we're not achieving the goals that we want it to. To give you a broad overview of what our focus is for the meeting, our meeting is basically for one reason, and that's to get input from you, from the council, and from the Planning Commission to develop a list of priorities that we are going to focus on during 2010. This list of priorities, of course, has to be limited because we've got a limited time frame, a limited budget that we have to do these in. There's another sheet that's attached that is the agenda for tonight's meeting. If you'll look at that agenda, there's a whole lot of things listed on that agenda. All of those things were given by members of the Planning Commission, members of the City Council, members of the city staff as ideas of where we would go with this meeting. Anything that's on that list is important to somebody, or it would not be on that list. What we're going to give you the opportunity to do tonight is to add to that list and to comment on the things that are on that list, so that collectively, in about an hour, we can have a discussion, and then after that hour is over, we will develop a list of priorities that will be posted for the public, so that when people ask, what is Fulshear doing, we can tell them that these are the things that we are focusing on and trying to achieve. I'm going to give one more statement, then I'm going to turn it over to Tommy. The one thing that you have to realize about some of these goals that are listed is some of these are things that are ongoing and are going to automatically be forced to the top of this priority list, because we've already made commitments to developers, to other landowners, to people within the city that are forcing some of these items to go to the top of the list. But other than that, everything is an open forum tonight. I'm going to let Tommy, if you don't mind, go through kind of how we're going to handle it, if you don't mind doing that.
Okay. Thank you, Derek. Derek mentioned I'm Tommy Kirkendall. I'm chairman of the Planning Commission. And I've worked in volunteer status with the city since about 2002. I moved out to Fulshear in 2000. I attended one Saturday morning in February in 2002, a community workshop similar to this, and just took an interest in the community, participated and gave my opinions. I guess my opinions weren't too bad, because someone called me and asked me to serve on a committee. And so, you know, wanting to do the best for the city, that's how I got involved. And a lot of things have changed in Fulshear over the last several years, as all of you are aware of that. But just to reiterate, you know, where we're at and where we're heading, I had someone just forward me an article today from, it was written by Francesca Levy at Forbes.com, and it talks about the best places to get ahead in 2010. And it lists 10 areas of the country, not in Texas, but in the country, that's the best place to live. It says to find the best places to get ahead. They looked at counties where the number of jobs had grown the most between the second quarter of 2007 and the second quarter of 2009, using data from the U.S. Department of Labor, and Fort Bend County ranked #1 on that list. And so that's a nationwide survey that was done. I don't know the complete background of that, but that's just off the press and came out today at Forbes.com. So Fort Bend County is still growing. A lot of that had occurred in Sugar Land, but I believe in my heart that the majority of growth will occur out here in the Fulshear area. It's upon us, and we have to do the best that we can with these goals to try to not control that growth, have smart growth, and to make the community into something that all of us want, you know, as citizens that live here. As Derek mentioned, you know, we don't want this to go on all night long. So what we'd like to do is allow each of you to take an opportunity. We'll try to limit your comments to 3 minutes if possible. So hopefully our discussion and input would last no more than an hour. And then after that, we'll take a poll on some of these topics. And if you are a resident of the city of Fulshear, if you're a landowner, or you're a business owner, or you're a planned development representative, we want you to vote in that process. If you're here and you're from Simonton or Weston Lakes, feel free to express your comments and your opinions about these ideas, or possibly ideas that were left off the list. But when you're voting on that, we want the people who are residing here and have business here and not, you know, from just outside the area. So that's how we want to rank it. And you'll have, when we get to that portion, we'll explain that just a little further. So with that, Derek, do you want to start off with City Council? Any comments that they have first?
Sure. We'll just start on one side and move this direction. And we're gonna move through the whole room and do this. If anybody has comments that they want to add to it, we're gonna start first, and we're gonna press through the whole room and let everybody speak on any topic that they want to. Don't feel obligated to speak, but if there's something that you think that needs to be changed, we want to hear it. We want to hear what your opinion is, and we'll start with Mr. Collins.
Well, J.B. Collins, Mayor Pro Tem. My My name is J.B. Collins. I'm Mayor Pro Tem.